Hey guys, just doing a quick stream here. I'm in LA doing this event tonight for the Nomiki show with Alona Minkowski, Nando Vila, um, other great folks. Um, I just wanted to sort of give you some of my thoughts before we go into we're voting today, obviously. There's been a lot of activity the last couple of days. Um, Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Yo, Nomiki. And, well, thank you. And definitely go to patreon.com/TMBS, patreon.com/TMBS. Supporting independent media is a absolute must. There's still some tickets left tonight. I'll tweet it out again soon, and that will be where you can get the information to go to the show tonight in LA. It's going to be a huge amount of fun. We're actually even going to be selling some TMBS gear there as well. It's going to be fucking amazing. Welcome, everybody. And also, if you go to tmbs.fm, you can grab tickets to our live shows in Austin and then Boston. But become a Patreon at patreon.com/TMBS. I'm going to do a Warren impression. The new anti-Semitic Elizabeth Warren impression, where she goes, my daddy, he was a janitor, and he said, Jews are very good with people's money, but they're, they're they've got plans, but it's for other people's money. It's like Shylock, and that's the problem I have with Bernie. Even though we want to go to the same place, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hit the super chat donation. We had huge growth across all levels last month. Help us keep it going. All right, so let me just say real quick. Guys, don't be upset. Don't be discouraged. Don't be depressed. This is what was expected. I'm shocked they didn't do this earlier. Joe Biden was obviously the strongest person to coalesce in the right-wing corporate ring of the Democratic Party. Always. Yes, we know all the reasons that he's a problem, including, by the way, just basic, clearly like onset senility, which is going to be a pretty big problem in running against Donald Trump. We know that the fact that he is running with, a record of calling for Social Security and Medicare cuts. And those are the types of things we really need to focus on. Joe Biden has tons of horrible, record. The Iraq invasion, foreign policy generally, race, policing, and prisons. But the bigger targets for a mass market are trade bills and, thank you so much. I'm really honored. The trade votes and calling for cuts to Social Security and Medicare. This is what Bernie Sanders needs to do, and this is what the Bernie Sanders campaign needs to do, is that we're the only ones that can beat Donald Trump, and we are actually the unifying candidate in terms of reality, in terms of, look, not obsessive media haters, not people in the Democratic establishment, not weird people on social media that hate Bernie Sanders or whatever, but in terms of like the broad swath of the population of actual human beings dealing with serious problems have put an unprecedented amount of energy into this campaign in terms of actual resources, actual money, actual volunteer hours. That's how this is going to get done. That's literally the only way. He's the only one with a winning path through the Midwest. He's the only one with a strategy for the Sun Belt. He's the only one with a credible story on not only protecting Social Security and Medicare, but actually expanding it, and has voted against every single poisonous trade deal for the environment, for workers in the United States and workers internationally. That's, of course, GATT, NAFTA, and so on. When it comes to prison policing, and policing issues actually as well, the other problem is that Donald Trump is going to shamelessly run to the left of a Joe Biden with his sort of fake move towards prison rehabilitation. We know Joe Biden's an immensely weak candidate. We also knew that fundamentally this was going to be a Sanders versus Biden race. And of course, all of these people are going to coalesce. It's in their self-interest. Thank you so much. Love you guys. They absolutely the number one priority for them is obviously stop Sanders. I think for a lot of these people, they're fine with a Trump second term. It's good for fundraising. It's good for their own career self-interest. They can just sort of ride off of it. But people who really understand the level and scale of crisis we're in and what we have to deal with, we're serious about Bernie Sanders and we're serious about this election. All right, let me just do this real quick. Yeah, I did see Chris Matthews. I mean, I realized that, Tip would rate him on a 1 to 10 scale, and that was wrong. Even though Tip O'Neill is the greatest person who ever lived in the history of Earth, that is wrong. And like Casablanca, we want to protect the Jewish people, but we aren't Jewish people. Well, that's it for me. I'll be writing about politics, I'll be talking about politics, and I'll be doing lots of different politics. Um, and again, look, man, normal day in and day out folks who like Elizabeth Warren, if you're actually serious about policy and you actually care about us getting somewhere, this is the path in terms of if you're actually concerned about healthcare, as an example. The sort of Warren campaign now that's just functioning as like a toxic personality cult. I just hope that this is a savviness lesson for the left, that people should not have indulged it early on, should not have bent over backwards to constantly, talk about how, they're both on the same side and all of this bullshit and nonsense. It's a campaign. They were, competing against each other. They have, thank you so much. They have absolutely different policy agendas. They have a fundamentally different view of how change happens. They have completely different biographies. Sanders is rooted in the left, rooted in the movement. He's been fighting this stuff for decades. Warren, of course, was on the right, came to politics relatively late in life, and has a very narrow issue set and no understanding of things like military or foreign policy, broad swaths of domestic policy. And, I think, again, I just hope that the left can get a savviness lesson about being really clear about what stakes are and what actual political conflict is, outside of the gate. And again, if you're a normal voter and you like Elizabeth Warren, but you also care about policy, in terms of reality, voting for her today is obviously a vote for Sanders. You can, a vote for Biden. You can like it or not, whatever. Uh, it is certainly amazing. I see a lot of folks who were super hard on the Jill Steins of the world. You definitely are going to be in no position to be critical of Jill Stein voters. Obviously, if you're voting for Warren today and you claim to support some type of progressive agenda. And I say this, look at somebody like I ended up supporting Hillary Clinton, who is truly like a immensely damaging person. If you care about the coups in Honduras and Haiti, if you have immense concerns about her militarism, her history of demonizing poor and working and people of color. But still I could make a tactical trade-off. So, I just don't have much sympathy, and I actually think it's very disturbing, some notion that like, oh well, people were rude on Twitter, so people go fuck themselves and die because they don't have their insulin. Like, that's actually really quite disgusting and disturbing. So, at any rate, guys, I would just say though, keep confident. This is still going to happen, and we are still going to be in a strong position to move forward, generate a Sanders presidency, and actually really, really create the type of long term change and transformation that we need. And that's through serious material solidarity, it's through that actual, like, thank you, spiritual commitment almost of the not me, us, that really is the energy and the propelling of solidarity. So, guys, I think, again, just we can do this. We can absolutely do this. We will do this. And I appreciate all of you immensely. I'm in LA. I'm gonna go see, some folks here, some friends. Definitely come see us tonight for the show. Yes, go Massachusetts. Bernie, definitely. It's going to be very important and very good when he wins Massachusetts today. And much love to all of you. All solidarity. See you guys soon. If you haven't yet, click subscribe. Go to patreon.com/TMBS. Become a patron. Support all independent left media. This is a fundamental part of the fight. Peace and love, guys. Peace and love.